Hello everybody, I'm from OSCAN Immigration Education and Careers Private Limited, Canada, and we are also having our branch office in Ludhiana, Punjab. So today we are making this video in order to tell you the journey from 6.5 to 8 bands. Many people are stuck at CLB 7 or CLB 8, that is, they are not able to achieve the desired bands for being immigrated to Canada. So for that you must be aware that you need at least CLB 9, and many well educated, the ones those who have even done the doctorate, they are stuck at CLB 7 or CLB 8. So in this video I'll be covering that what could be done in order to achieve the desired band score. So let's begin. So first and foremost, the mindset. It's all the mindset game. So in any area of your life, it can be the professional or the personal life, until and unless you are not optimistic, you won't be able to get the desired results. So in order to achieve the desired band score, first and foremost is that you should be optimistic, and you should also know that Ielts is designed to test your English language skills, not your intelligence. And many people are even getting depressed. I have lately encountered one or two clients, those who were quite depressed because they sat for the exam for around 3 to 4 times, but they weren't able to achieve the desired bands. So I tried to pacify them, and I made them I have explained them the fact that this is only the test of your English proficiency, but not your intelligence. So you shouldn't think that you are not intelligent enough to get the desired bands. So you should be optimistic, and you should know that it's only the English language skills test. And secondly, most of us are Indians or from other native countries where English is not the first language. So we are quite well versed with our mother tongues. For example, with the changing demography of India, even the languages change. For example, in Punjab, Punjabi is used; in Haryana, Haryanvi; and in Delhi and the other states, Hindi; and in the southern part, Telugu, Tamil is used. So this is not our mother tongue. So you should know that this is the second language. So it creates sometimes a problem to understand it and to know the meaning in depth. And again, I would just repeat the fact that even if you have sat for the exam like 3 to 4 or 5 or 6 times, you shouldn't feel that you are the failure. No, you are not the failure. It's only there are some missing links which needs to be connected in order to get the desired score. And again, optimism is the key to success in every area of your life. It can be the professional or the personal life. So you should be first and foremost optimistic if you want to achieve the desired band scores. Then practice is the key. Since childhood we have been listening to the things that practice makes the man perfect. So in order to achieve CLB 9, only practice is needed. And firstly, you should focus on the weak areas. So and the four modules, that is listening, reading, writing or speaking, you should see that in which area you are weak, and you have to practice the type of questions and that module as much as you can, so that you get well versed with the type of questions and what kind of which kind of questions usually confuse you. So try to look for the problematic areas, and then practice variety of questions from the internet. There is lots and lots of material available for practicing different types of questions on various websites, and then you can refer to the actual books. I would say that Cambridge books are the best because they are very close to the real Ielts exam, and if you practice I think right from Ielts Cambridge 6 to the latest, that is 13 or 14. I think you can practice lots and lots of questions, and you will be able to grasp the type of questions and what kind of tricks they use to confuse the candidates. And if done regularly and with discipline, I think 1 month of practice is more than enough. So you have to be disciplined, and you have to be consistent with your efforts in order to get the desired band score. So make up the timetable, see your problematic areas, and start working on them. Use various materials. Even if you have joined various coaching centers, they are I think working quite hard to they are working really hard to make their students get the desired bands. So you should tell them to give you more practice questions and more practice material, so that even after finishing your classes, you can come and you can do some self-study as well. Okay, now we'll be focusing on each module that where most of my students were facing problems. So I'll be covering only those things in each and every module, and what are the solutions and how you can ace them. So let's first start with the listening module. So here the problematic areas are the MCQs, or multiple choice questions, matching the sentences, diagram filling, and the map marking. So the usual solution for the MCQs is that try to mark and memorize the options when given the free time in the beginning. So as soon as the question papers are handed over to you, you should quickly switch over to the MCQs. Either they will be in the section 2 or in the section 3. So you should mark the keywords properly. You should mark the options, what are the keywords given over there, and try to memorize. Like for example, you can just memorize that, okay, in that question these 3 options are given. So you should have at least a vague idea, like 40 to 50% the question will and the answers will stay in your mind. So utilize that 1 or 1.5 to 2 minutes to mark the keywords. And definitely this trick has helped many of my students, and they were able to mark the MCQs quite correctly. And usually they use the keywords, for example, but, however, I don't think so, it's trivial. So you should listen to these keywords very carefully, because they are trying to negate their previous statements. So they will be speaking all the 3 options, but then the chances are they might negate it and they will say the 3rd option. So you should be very careful with these keywords. So you can just note them down as well if you want to. These are but, however, I don't think so, and it's trivial. These keywords have been taken from the Cambridge listening tests only. So we have the list of other keywords as well, which we will be sharing in the upcoming videos. And then the match the sentences. So the options are quite confusing. So firstly, you should properly listen to the audio, usually the synonyms and which are used to confuse you. Then there is a diagram filling and the map marking. So we cannot predict until and unless we see the audio. Listen to the audio. So you should go with the flow of the audio and listen for the directions, for example, north, south, east or west. Now coming to the reading module. So here the problematic areas are the true, false, not given, yes, no, not given, and then match the headings. So the solutions for this is that don't interpret anything, rather you should analyze. So the difference between interpretation and analyzation is, I think interpretation is that you are marking answers based on your memory and your knowledge. So you don't have to use your knowledge while marking the answers. Everything is given in the passage or the paragraph. So you should just refer to that for marking the questions. So don't interpret anything, just analyze the passage carefully, read every word very carefully, and try to get the meaning, that what the meaning is being conveyed, and just follow the language of the text. So many students even lose marks that they don't read the instructions carefully. So they read the instructions, whether it is a true, false, not given type of questions or the yes, no, not given. Usually students practice more questions on true false not given, so they don't read the instructions, they just start writing true false or not given, so they tend to lose marks. But in the instructions it can be given that it is a yes, no or not given, so be very careful with the instructions. Then comes the match the headings. So here you have to read the paragraphs very thoroughly. Usually the first two lines and the last two lines convey that what is said and what that paragraph is trying to tell. So you can locate the heading out of that. But otherwise, in order to make it a bit harder for students to get the answer, so try to read the passage very carefully, try to get out the meaning, that what meaning is being conveyed by that passage, and then try to traverse through all the options and then mark the right or the closest one. Okay, now the hardest one, which I think over 80 to 90% students are falling prey of, and it is the writing module. So here the problematic area is usually the task 2, that is the essay, and the solution for this is that you have to read the instructions and the question several times before attempting. I'm saying this, the only reason behind it is that we just because during our practice sessions what we usually do is that we keep on writing things, and we say that, for example, the question is on environment, so we'll just see, okay, this is very close to that, so I have to write that, the one which I wrote in the mock test. So we quickly start writing, but when we have almost finished whole of the essay, then we again come and read the question. It is the point that where the problem starts, that the question was something else and you have written something else, and then definitely you will be losing marks. So then at least I tell my students that you should at least read the question at least 5 times very carefully, line by line, word by word. Line by line, word by word, you have to read the question at least 5 times until and unless you get what that question is asking, and then you have to write on that only. Then there are several types of questions, around 5 or 6 types of questions which are usually asked by the in the Ielts examination. They are the agree, disagree, positive or negatives, causes and solutions, causes and reasons, and give your opinion. So then look for the type. Then you have to make up your mind that what kind of structure of your essay needs to be framed in order to describe the points which you want to write in your essay. So make at least 4 paragraphs. Firstly the introduction part, then the body para 1 along with the example, body para 2 with the example, and then the conclusion. So at least 4 paragraphs should be there. You can move from 4 to 5, but you shouldn't move from like you shouldn't make like just 3 paras. At least 4 should be there. And the 4th point, which has been mentioned by me, it is really important, and it is usually not told by any of the Ielts teachers which are teaching in various institutes. So if anybody of you are listening to this, so I think this can really make a difference in your writing band scores. So you can also promulgate this message to your teachers as well, that don't give vague examples like surveys. Even if you will be picking any book where writing tasks 2 are written and the solutions are given, only the surveys are given. Even if we read it, we know that this is fake, this is not true, this is just to cover the points, and if you are not able to relate to the point, that has just been framed in order to cover the para. So don't give the the examples of surveys or the fake news. So what I would rather suggest is that you should prefer giving the personal examples. Provide real world examples from your knowledge. uh, this can easily be done with the help of, if you are a newspaper reader, because every day new different topics are covered in the newspapers. For example, like India has launched GSV2 recently. So if the topic is regarding the technology, you can give the real world example, and the invigilator will come to know that yes, you are having the knowledge about the topic, and this is a real world example because it was a global news. So even it was covered by the media channels all over the globe. So if you will be giving the real world example, that will definitely add up to your band score. And what in the last, keep the check on your word limit. So at least 250 words should be there, and you can move on the higher limit. I would suggest around 330 or 320 are enough. So at least 250 words has to be written in your essay. Okay, now the last module is speaking module. So here the problematic area is the cue cards. Usually children are very easy and very comfortable with the question answer questions, normal introductory part and the follow-up questions. They are able to give the answers because only 1 or 2 lines has to be spoken. But the problem starts when you have to speak on a particular topic for at least 2 minutes. That is the on a cue card. So the solution is practice as much as you can. So take out the list of cue cards, on the previous cue cards which have been asked in the examinations. Try to practice them. And the another thing which can add up to your speaking band score is that record yourself in the phone recorder to assess your progress. Reason being, you will be able to come across how many pauses you are making, what could have been said better by you when you were explaining a particular topic, and where you are fumbling, where you are not clear. So these things come quite handy when you are recording yourself in the phone recorder. So the long pauses, ands, you knows should be avoided while speaking. Many people are having the habit of just giving a long pause while they are speaking, so that will definitely give the bad impression. And some people use ands again and again in each and every line they are coming across, and some even say that quite often while speaking. So this will definitely bring down your band score if you are using these things. So keep a check on them. And the last is that don't go off track. So candidate mostly lose marks here if the topic is that explain the scenic view which you have recently been to. So they start explaining about the adventurous places, so that is completely off topic. So these two, scenic places and the adventurous places, are two different things. So you should know that what the cue card is and what you have to say according to the given topic. So in the end, we will be saying that in the next video I'll be explaining you each and every module in detail with the problems and the solution. I'll be making the separate videos on listening with the practice questions, then the reading, then the writing, and then the speaking. And very special videos are coming quite soon for writing and speaking modules, because most of the students are facing difficulty in these two modules and they are losing marks in these. And the master plan, which is specially framed by me to get the CLB 9, that is 8777 for general module exam, and 8 band writing samples which have been framed by me. And I think this will really help the students, those who are not able to get the desired bands. So lastly, I will say that I hope you will be liking this video, and please like, comment and share it with your friends, those who are facing problem in IELTS. And The contact details are given over here, and you can reach us on the given number. And if any of your relative or friend or any other acquaintance is available in Canada and he or she needs the guidance for any of the immigration needs, please don't forget to refer to our office. It is located in Surrey, British Columbia, and in India we are located in Ludhiana, Punjab. So hope to see you guys soon, and keep watching, keep liking, and keep